All right, item number 11, business from the city council reports, starting with Councilmember Cleveland.
Let's see here. Attended the Housing Authority meeting 2 weeks ago, right after Tuesday when we had our meeting, and had some really good reports on projects that are going on with the Housing Authority, which provides affordable housing for the community, which there's a very long waiting line and a shortage of in our communities. New community building at Richland Housing is pretty much done. I didn't get a report as to where they got occupancy and if they're doing anything, but we're going to dedicate that or whatever. It's a fantastic building now. It's a lot of green things were done. The city screening that was required for the HVAC systems was installed and taken care of, which was just one of those small things that got missed. Also within there, the Yuba City Unified School preschool campus inside of there, over the last 6-7 years, has been trying to improve itself and grow in there. And with the high level of safety that is now within that housing authority, there's a waiting line for people to actually go in there to want to have kids in that particular one because it is so safe in there. Seniors walk around at night not fearing any problems or anything. It's very safe in there. Zero tolerance is what we have on most everything that would not be good to have in any community. And then up in Live Oak, a place called Centennial Arms, apartment units that we bought up there a couple years ago, knowing it needed some rehabbing, got a good price for it, but has been rehabilitated and reopened, and all the new stuff and requirements are there. So the people are having nice housing, durable housing, not the kind of T111 siding and things like that you could take a sledgehammer through. We're putting things in there that people can't damage easily, but is high quality for long lasting. So they're doing that, and have a few other projects we're looking at also. And then another note on that is the California Supreme Court actually ruled that middle and very low income housing requirements for contractors and builders in San Jose, it's 15% that they have to. They challenged that, and the court said that no, it's something that can be done, and it's a responsibility for the builders to do. And while the contractors don't like that, it actually takes some of the burden off of the taxpayers on housing authorities and different things, to where it's more the community takes care of it and business takes care of it instead of government being over and doing that. So good things, bad things in that whole bit there. So that was just a ruling. It was I think 2 days ago on that. Went to the Nissan Chamber ribbon cutting recently. It was great to see it, and they're actually the sponsors. The primary sponsors for the summer stroll, which is also this weekend. So you need to go to the summer stroll. I pretty much live down there from the time that it opens to the time it closes. I'm one of those guys that just says, I'm the gopher. Tell me what to do and I'll go try to get it done and get crews and whatever. And I actually enjoy it a lot. And then they also are a sponsor of the winter stroll. So they have jumped in with both feet, hands. I mean, they're just swimming in our community. Every community they join or in, have a dealership in, they go in all in and are very active in the communities and stuff, and it's a way of life for them. So that's nice to see that they're doing this. Other than that, had a great time visiting with my son, who I hardly ever get to see. He's in the Air Force, and his families are in the area, so it's wonderful to see that set of grandkids and the family, and anybody that has anybody in the military like that are kids and grandkids, they'll understand what I'm talking about. And by the way, I have a son that's in Civil Air Patrol in the local area, and he loves it. So, and you joining in the community and becoming another part of this, it's going to be fantastic. It's going to make an even deeper impact in our community for pride in country and protective services. So I really do appreciate your being here. Other than that, that's it.
All right, thank you. Councilmember Didball.
Right. Just really had one meeting. That was the SASA meeting, the Sutter Animal Shelter Authority, and it was a short meeting. Just went over budget and approved it. The rest of the week, actually all last week, was many graduations. Had the privilege to attend several of them. I was honored to be the keynote speaker at the Yuba City Charter School. What a great group of kids who persevered through some tough times, and they graduated, and that was a very proud moment for many parents, teachers, and all their supporters. It was wonderful. I attended the River Valley High graduation, lots of enthusiasm. My daughter goes to school there, so it was a whole different connection there, and she'll be graduating in another 2 years. She's a junior now. Went to the Yuba City High, and that was a lot of fun. I actually, graduated there almost 30 years ago, so it was nice to be back at that stadium. We got rained on though, poured, but it was fun. The enthusiasm was fantastic. Other than that, it was a short week. I was in Seattle the rest of the week for another graduation at the University of Washington. So that was an amazing graduation as well. Saw some doctorates and masters and so forth. So great group of people coming out of college. So other than that,
Right.
short week.
Thank you. Councilmember Gill.
Sure. I too was in Seattle, but for a banking conference. I wasn't able to attend the Center Beach Flood Agency meeting, but was in touch with Mike Amini, and our work seems to getting pushed back, and now into July for hopefully keeping our fingers crossed and trying to get it started. You've got the Army Corps of Engineers that the Colonel would not budge to allow us to continue our work. So we're kind of at a standstill to even move into Butte County, and that was our goal, is to got issues with the United Auburn Tribe in Sutter County to let us get started in Butte County, and that was a no as well. So we'll continue to work on that particular avenue. For charity purposes, working and trying to raise funds for Right at Hospital. I got suckered in and volunteered to do Dancing with the Stars. So I will be dancing and representing the city of Yuba City, and challenge Mayor Ricky Samoya of Marysville, who's doing his on Friday night. So I'm very excited and to representing not only the city of Yuba City, but I'm very excited. I've only got 4 more days of dance practice left, and then I can actually get back to my normal time. I didn't realize how much time it literally takes and how easy they make this thing look on TV until you actually got to do it. So it wasn't until Sunday morning until I pulled my back. So, I've been icing it for the last 2 days. So tonight I'll get back in practice slowly by slowly. But I hope to bring the trophy back
But don't
to
be
Yuba
making
City.
excuses.
No, that's why I'm suckering there. That's why I said I plan to bring the trophy back to Yuba City from Marysville. So if you can attend out there, it'd be great to have all the support and stuff. But I'm looking forward to it. So,
All right.
yeah, other than that, that's all I got to report.
Thank you. Vice Mayor Buckland.
The longest part of that, though, Cash, was the relocating your feet so you didn't have 2 left feet. That's what I understand. So that's from your dance instructor. But they didn't think I'd say this in public, but I went with it. I too attended the graduations at RV in Yuba City. Both of them are spectacular events, and Yuba City was really special because, as Councilmember Dipball said, it was a baptism also. It rained the entire event, and no sooner that it ended and the recessional began and the rain stopped. And it was like, really? This couldn't have just held off just a few hours. Attended the Sutter County and Yuba City intergovernmental meeting with representatives, Sutter County supervisors, and really went over a number of different issues here in our community, primarily looking at our vagrancy and homeless issues, and trying to address some of that, and then just other just little operational issues between Yuba City and Sutter County. So this was the first of many. We'll have these meetings on a quarterly basis. It generally is the mayor and vice mayor that will be attending these, so that will change as the set on council goes forward, but the meetings are very productive. Last about an hour and a half. Also attended the SASA. Couldn't have been any quicker. I think that was a 3-minute meeting. We approved the budget and moved on. Attended the SACOG Government Relations and Affairs Committee. Again, talking back to some of the issues on some legislation that SACOG is looking to either get behind or not is SB 16. And there have been some significant changes by the author of SB 16 here in the last couple weeks, trying to modify what this tax on your gasoline will look like in the year coming forward. But stand by because they're bent on increasing your taxes by about 10 cents for gasoline, 12 cents for diesel, and then your DMV fees. The big part of the conversation really moving forward is to not try to the tax is probably going to come along, but it's also, if we're so bent on this legislation, we got to start looking at price gouging and some of the other issues that are out there with the sale of fuel that might make this a little bit more palatable for the public for the next 5 years. And that's the sunset on this new tax. Sat in for Councilmember Gill for Sabufka, long meeting. Good choice for one not to be at necessarily, but trying to get the construction dates moving forward and just understanding the complex issue between the tribes and really Sabufka itself and also the Corps, and two of the parties willing to work and one not. So I think that public pressure will also be a good part of that. I've been given permission to also announce that Miss Paige Kennedy Whitaker was born. She's 3 pounds, 14 ounces, 18 and a half inches. She is in NICU down at Mercy San Juan, which is expected through this whole process. So I just say, keep them in your prayers and hopefully she gets bigger and stronger each day. So congratulations to both Natalie and Jim Whitaker.
All right, thank you. All right, had a few meetings over the past couple of weeks. Had the Feather River Air Quality Management meeting. Nothing dramatic to report out on that one. Also attended the RV and Yuba City graduations. The Yuba City graduation, I started the evening with the suit about the color of your uniform, ended up with a dark brown suit by the time the evening was over.
2 sizes smaller.
2 sizes smaller. Actually, Jim Whitaker said he was going to take his back to Northam because it was smaller than when he got it. So anyhow, attended the intergovernmental meeting with the county, and I have to say that this is a meeting or a commission that has been around for some time, but this is actually the first meeting that has actually taken place since I have been on the council, which would be a little over 6 years. So it was very productive. It's good to see that we're getting back to sitting at the table and discussing issues that affect both the city and the county so that we can address these things pretty much on the same page and understand the concerns from both the county side and the city side. So it was a very productive meeting and looking forward to more in the future. Also attended the Sutter Buttes flood control meeting. It's been talked about tonight, and it's unfortunate that we are faced with additional delays to get our construction. I mean, we've got great weather out here right now to be able to be working, and we can't even move a shovelful of dirt at this point. And what's sad about it is that this is going to have about a $6 million price tag to our project, and us as citizens are going to have to pay that additional $6 million because we're going to have to now carry a part of this project over until next year, just because the Corps will not allow us to move ahead with this part of the project. And it's really unfortunate. They're being very how shall we say it, very close-minded on looking at how this could be done, because there's the cultural issues which took place last year's construction season, and that's where a lot of the dispute is over. But we have full agreement with the section in Butte County to be able to move ahead, but the Corps is saying, no, we can't do that. So it's very frustrating. Had the Gil Sizer meeting where we addressed some personnel issues and went well. Mosquito vector had annual review of the executive director and was given a full vote of confidence on what he's doing and is doing a good job after taking over 2 years ago. And attended the Isles Academy of Golf tournament for the youth at Beale on Saturday. Enjoyed doing that. Mentioned the stroll this coming Saturday. Hope everybody is going to show up and attend the stroll. I unfortunately will not be able to attend it this year because I'll be attending the U.S. Conference of Mayors in San Francisco. That's pretty much the extent of what I've been up to the past couple weeks. And then I'd like to close tonight's meeting in memory of Dr. Karen Ueda Kakashiba, who passed away from cancer, I believe about a week ago. And the memorial was on Monday. But certainly keep her family in our prayers, and like to close the meeting in her honor. With that, the meeting is adjourned.